Okay, so here we are. Guess where we are? Triphammer Road East. Alrighty then. There's the vehicle. Okay, great. It is Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. We're going to go on this 0.8 mile stretch. Triphammer to Piney Fork. This is Triphammer East to Piney Fork East. There's a Triphammer West just on that hill over there, and then Piney Fork West is whatever, about 0.3 or 4 miles. 0.4 maybe miles back. This takes you to one of my favorite footbridges. Alright, so look at these leaves. There's a lot of leaves that are green. There are some brown ones. Up here it looks like there's some more brown ones. It's still a little early. October 14th. I was here about a year ago. I mean, I've been here since then, but I'm talking about in the fall. It was like around October 20 something, and a lot of the leaves were gone from the trees at that time. There's more leaves here now. All right, so here's my favorite footbridge. It's that through truss footbridge. So it's looked like a miniature. Here's a 7% slope. It's like a miniature version of that rail bridge the other day. Looks like they put some asphalt down there. So check it out. There's nobody here. I'm gonna break out the alternate videos real quick. First thing you do. Alright, here we go. Video. Alternate video. There we are. Well, I should put more asphalt over here. Put it on one side. So there's the through truss bridge, Piney Fork Bridge. Footbridge. And then that looks so cool on that video right there. Well, okay. The selfie. Alright, here we go. Through that tunnel there, huh? No, it's not a tunnel. Alright. Alright, so we got that done real quick. It's like a little more water flowing than we saw last week. Although we really haven't had any rain to speak. We had a little bit of rain, but not that much. It's kind of cool. I got a short sleeve shirt on, but it's about 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's not very sunny. It was supposed to be sunny. Alright, so there's the footbridge. And there's a lame sign here that doesn't tell you anything. But I know the history of that because I looked it up. That bridge, that footbridge, was an old footbridge built in the 1920s in a Menneson steel mill. It was then acquired by the Montour Trail Council. They said they stored it up near Quicksilver, and then they brought it down here in 2012 and installed it here. That's a really cool looking bridge. Well, I guess I'd say, it's cool, but and it's small, miniature, but it's definitely not the same kind of structure as that real deal train bridge up there at Greer. Now, hopefully I didn't miss that. There's a... Oh yeah, I did miss it. See, I wasn't paying attention. It's right up here. Let's go back here and get a shot of that. I always think it's down further, and then I pass it. And I pass it right up. But let's get a... Since we're here and there's nobody here, let's get a... We gotta do it, man. We gotta do it. You gots to do it. Alright. So I get these pretty much every time I come here. Video. Oh, it's on. There we go. We got the train car, woodpecker, and western. And I can zoom in real good with this camera. There's the Piney footbridge. And it's right there, right next to the bridge, basically. There's the water down there. Boy, it's really kind of chilly down here. I didn't bring a jacket and I don't care. It's supposed to be sunnier. It's supposed to go to about close to 70 today. Not that great. That won't be till, probably like 3 or 4 o'clock. Right now it's what is it, 12? Almost 12:30 p.m. See, for some reason, I keep thinking that little train car thing is down here when you make the turn. But no. Alright, so, oh wow, it's chilly. Windy. It's probably going to be really cool down in this section because there's no, there's a lot of shade. Okay, I was here in July, and I was also here in May of this year, 2025. Last year I was here a bunch of times. 2024 is when I discovered this part of the trail. It started, I think it was like July and August of 24. I came back a bunch of times. One of the last times was at third week of August. And, third week of October. And you saw a lot of the leaves change, but they were mostly gone. Right now, we're still got a lot of leaves. Well, that's really pretty over there. What's really pretty, when you get down here, let's turn this bend. Mile marker 38 1/2. The time when I was here in May, that's when that one lady said, "Hey, do you like birds?" I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess. And she said, "There's a blue heron up there." I missed it. I didn't see it at first. It was like right at the edge of that little marsh. I always called it a swamp. It's coming up. This is the part right here. Beautiful. This is probably like one of the prettiest sections of the Montour Trail. The most scenic. So here we go with Scenic. Yeah, scenic for sure. Yeah, scenic for sure. So over there's a hillside. There's houses up there. It's on Triphammer. You know, look at that water right down there. The rapids of Triphammer. Yeah, I'm chilly. I mean, it's chilly. I'm cold. Haha. There is a strong sewer smell down here, though. I will say there's no other place on the Montour Trail like this. The one that comes close is down there near the Montour Run, but this is definitely the best in here. Rapidly flowing water. Beautiful scenery. Now here's some sun. There's a little clearing right here. You should be able to get some heat. I was going to say there's a place where you can have a picnic, but I don't think you'd want to have a picnic right here. It stinks too much. A little spooky down here. This is the beginning of that marsh area. All that stuff over there. Never mind. So right over here is the beginning of that area. Can't really see much there. There's a little clearing right here. It doesn't look like there's too much water right there. Oh, I can see the water up here. Well, anyway, last May, right over there, was one of those blue herons just sort of sitting at the edge of the water. Yeah, it's probably right over here. Yeah, there's the water. There's the water, right? But look at all that, like there's tires and a bunch of junk in that water. That's, yeah, that blue heron was right over here. So there's the swamp. I call it a swamp. Some people say marsh. There is a difference, but to me, I don't know. Looks like a swamp. Drain the swamp. It looks kind of nasty, you know? A little stagnant. That slime on there. And old tires. And zoom in on that real quick. See old tires and junk in there. You wouldn't want to go over there. That's for sure. So there's a bend in the trail. And there's another one. There's another bend in the trail. Zoom, zoom. Oh, they're coming. Alright. Enough of that. Let's just go. Keep walking. This is definitely the time of year you want to come back to this place in the fall here. Although, let's say it's not that pretty now with the leaves yet. By the time it gets, quote, pretty, those leaves will be all falling off. That's what happens. I want to see like full bloom, but then all orange and yellow colors. But we're not going to see that this year. There's the edge of that swamp. Take a look over here. Basically came over here because there was a guy behind me. I didn't want him walking behind me. I don't like when there's people behind me. I also don't like when they're in front of me. When they're behind you, you know, they're like, you feel like they're crawling up on you. You got to move faster somehow. When they're in front of you, they get on your body cam footage. You don't want that either. I sort of hate walking in all this because you don't know what you're stepping on. It's all these leaves covering up the crap. But I did it, so got to get out of it. Alright. There's some sun. Warm. Feels warm. This is a nice section, but I'm telling you, there is this little bit that makes you a little depressed here. I started feeling that way the last time I was here. It's like, this is a little bit depressing down here. Sort of like the forgotten area. Now here's that mound of stones that they're not, like, most of these are not going to be natural stones. They're just, some of these have a rebar coming out of them. They were like from an old wall or something. I don't know where. And they dumped them all here. All these rocks here. Jeez. I mean, some of them actually look like they're natural ones. Yeah, these ones look more natural. They're all, I mean, it wouldn't be here like this. Somebody dumped them here, but the ones down here, there's some down here along the trail. they're not natural. They've got rebar coming through. And that pile looks a little taller than it was last time. I wonder if they moved some more here. I don't know. And these ones up here have rebar coming out of them, so you know they're not natural. Part of an old wall decades ago when there were trains. See right there, that one has rebar coming out of it. Hi. You know, are those the same people that I saw last a couple weeks ago? I was down here. I was down at let's see, that would have been trying to remember the dates now. October. Hi.
Hi.
Let's see, what the heck day is today? October 14th. So 7 will be 6, 5, 4, 3. Somewhere around October 3rd. Okay, here we go. Let me forget that. Forget that story. Let's focus on this. Here's that little footbridge. I have no idea why it's here. That metal, skinny little footbridge. It served a purpose at some point. You wonder what the heck was over there. Why did they have it? You can sort of see another little pole there. I mean, I do this every time I come here, but let's do this. So there's that little footbridge. It's real skinny. Over there. See, right there. I have no idea what this stuff is. Anyway, back to that story. Where were we? I guess that was like October 3rd or something. Whatever, it was a Friday, whatever day that was. I was down at that direction up there at PRT Station, and I walked down the Brownsville Road Extension. And I can't even remember when I started talking about that. Forget it, I don't remember. It'll come to me at some point. So when I drove on Brownsville Road just now to get here, I saw where that golf range was, and it's all closed up. That's going to be a senior living facility. Alright, so here's Penmont. Oh, okay, that's what I was talking about. Those people that walk past there, those I think were the same people I saw that time, October 3rd. up there at the other end on the Brownsville Extension area. I said, look at those little twins they have. Looks like twins, and each grandparent was pushing a twin. Cute little babies. Somebody's chair down there. I guess they use that for fishing. Right down there. There's the water. And somebody's got a little chair sitting right there. Fishing time. So here's a little footbridge. Tiny little one. You know, the more I think about it, I'm not sure I really like it down here that much. I was loving this place. Thinking how cool it is down here. And it is cool, but it's like a little depressing or something. Now we're going to go all the way down to Piney Fork Road. Do the full 0.8 mile stretch. 0.8 and times 2 is 1.6. So probably I'm going to go on the other side of the Triphammer. There's mile marker 39 up there. Way up on the hillside. Yeah, I commented on that the last time I was here. On the other side of Triphammer, which we'll go to, there was a sign, one of these plaques, talked about the gold mine, and that wasn't there the last time. And then up here, this mentions it. There's this Snowden and Penmont, and let's get a little extra video of this. Wait a second, where did it say that? Alright, anyway, let's zoom in on this. Okay, yeah. On the right, by the middle of that paragraph, says the West End connection is called Gold, about 100 yards beyond the lower Triphammer trailhead. And there used to be a sign (1963). Wow, it's been decades. 1963. Huh. I was only like 5 years old. Alright, let's go down here. I want to go down that other side, see if they put up another sign. I have a feeling they did not. This is definitely fall weather. It's cold and windy. Here's the other side of that. The other sign at the end here, 0.8 miles. Here's Piney Fork West. No, Piney Fork East, sorry. What's this? What the hell's in there? Huh, I don't know. Alright, so we're going to go across here. You hear a vehicle coming. Hurry up and make the crossing. Comes a truck. Alright, so I've seen all this many times. I was just here in July. It's enough. Now we see that car parked over there. I guess there's a house over there. This seems like a really depressing place to live. Down in this valley. See, they got their car parked in a driveway and a mailbox over there. All right, across the road. One thing good about this place is it doesn't get too crowded down here. You know, like some of the other areas of the trail, you have to watch for the rude bike riders. Thought I heard somebody coming. Guess not. This is a 4% slope going up here. Time for a little noise sound effects. So basically for most of my life, this section has been abandoned for rails. Yeah, last time I was here in July, I made note of these bolts down here holding those in. They look newer. Let me get some water. looking at the weather forecast, it doesn't look like we're going to really have that many warmer days. There was one, it looked like, when I first looked, it said this coming Saturday, it was going to be in the mid-70s and sunny. Next time I looked, like a day or two later, it looks like it's going to rain. I was going to look that up, but you know what? Forget it. I ain't looking it up. I'm going to look something else up. I'm trying to think of this one song I was thinking about. On the way down here. Hi. I was thinking of something, and I was driving, and I couldn't really look it up. White Sky, there we go. I was trying to remember that the title of that Peter Green album and the song White, and I couldn't remember white what? White Sky? It's White Sky. It's a cool song. Mike Green sang that. His brother. There's a combination of beauty and spooky down here. And you think, well, geez, this is like all along like the sores down here. Sore lines. It's still kind of pretty. Look straight ahead. It looks really nice. I just wonder what this footbridge is for. There's a ladder on that side, there's a ladder on the other side. Hi. Hi. So, those pieces of concrete have rebar coming out. These ones up here did not seem to have the rebar coming out of them. Yeah, see, these ones look like man-made objects. You wonder how much of this they had to like reconstruct for this trail. It hadn't been used for decades for the trains. Not like the other sections of the trail, which kind of like trains were running up until like late 70s, early 80s. This stuff was abandoned in the early 1960s. Just a dumping ground over here. All these giant boulders. I mean, that one looks like man-made right there with that Who knows, man? Who knows? There's just a ton of them. It's a huge mound there. There's more up here. There's even more there. Yeah. My body's still sore from last week. Actually, I walked on a trail from like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That would have been like last Monday, the 6th. Today's the 14th of October. There's that swamp. I'm starting to get the feeling that I don't like it down here anymore. It's funny how that happens to you. You know, you find a place, you're loving it, you're saying this is the greatest thing in the world, and up here by the that footbridge and then the sort of the rapids, it is great. But down in here is a swamp. There's like a sewer smell, and it's kind of spooky. Oh shit. There was a dude who didn't announce or anything. I didn't know. I turned like this and there was a guy right there on a bike. Holy hell. There's a little pathway that goes down to that swamp. Man, I'd hate to just thinking about that, going into that. Ew. That's nasty. Trying to get to this place is a pain in the ass. The only part of the trip that's more straightforward is go down 79. That's great. Then you start cutting over across the South Hills, zigzagging all over the place to get here. Like right here is really nice, see? Little clearing. There's the water. I think I decided I'm not going down that other side of Triphammer. I just want to get out of here. That other side of Triphammer is kind of gloomy. You get down into that. It's like a 9% slope. You got to go down. And then an area that goes back to Piney Fork West. The first part of that's a little gloomy. Gloomy. There's an old Dodge DeSoto up there. Well, my muscles are still sore. Well, I did some mall walking in between last time I was on the trail and now. In the old days, they say that the train would have gone straight level, like it is here, all the way through Triphammer. Triphammer Road came down to meet it, and all the way on the other side of Triphammer. But after they closed all this up for trains, they built up the Triphammer Road to not go down into the valley like it did. So then they built up this trail on either side. It has to go up a steep slope to get to Triphammer Road, which is built up high now. But you know, according to all those signs, like there weren't any trains on this for 50, 60 years. 60 years. There's that weird smell. Everything's a weird smell. So there's that train car. There's the Piney Fork footbridge. I said it probably, like at least 10 times I've been down this way. They need a plaque right over here that says, or add to that one, where they got this bridge from, because they made a big deal out of this. Montour Trail, Piney Fork Bridge, South Park Township. But they didn't say where it came from. They need to put a sign that talks about where it came from. Menneson steel plant from the 1920s. Now this is a little reminiscent of the one if you go on the Bethel branch and you're up there near Clifton Road, which is up there, that Rite Aid pharmacy, the old Rite Aid, it's dead now. They have one that looks similar to this, but it's painted beige. It looks pretty cool, actually. This one looks pretty nice. Mountain bike. Yeah, this mountain bikes like that, electric. It's almost like riding a motorcycle or mini bike. Alright, so this one's a 7% slope. On the other side of Triphammer is a 9% slope. Just get like one more shot of this since we're leaving the area. Make sure you don't get run over. When I was driving, I was trying to ask my car, you know, you can say, hey Lexus, and it stops and it listens to your question. I guess it's using Google. I started asking it questions like, it was answering something. It was like getting stuff off of Wikipedia. Then I got it confused that I was asking too many questions. It's like, I do not understand what your question is. I do not understand. It's cool though, you don't have to like touch your phone or anything. You just talk to your car. Go up and look at this sign real quick. Triphammer Road East. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go down here for a minute. I'm not going down the valley. I'm just going to look at these signs. Let's cross here. Alright. Triphammer Road West. So from east to west, you can see that sign down there. You can see this sign here. Kind of reminds you of the Linwood Avenue. It has an east and west just across the road. Like from, I don't want to go down here because there's nothing really that great to see down there. Then you gotta walk all the way back up at 9% slope. Forget that. 9%, that's too much. Mailman, bring me my mail. I didn't get to back in today. Usually I like to back in. This isn't too tough to get out of this spot. Another reason for backing in is when I walk up to the car and I got this body cam, I don't want to get my license plate in there. Otherwise I got to blur it out or something. I'm going to try not to get that in this shot. Keep looking straight ahead. Mailman. There comes a car. Gotta be real careful here. Alright, so here's the vehicle. Right on the end spot. So we're gonna say goodbye to Triphammer Road East. Bye-bye.